Kalani Sitake. Give it up. What a year. I want to read some of these because they're important for all of us to hear. And in 2025, Kalani is entering his 10th year as BYU's head coach and his 25th overall season as a college football coach. He's led BYU to a 72-43 overall record during his first 9 seasons, including an 11-2 record in 24, while finishing in a 4-way tie for first place at 7-2 atop the Big 12 standings. Kalani has guided BYU to double-digit victory seasons in 3 of the past 5 years, while achieving a 45-18 record to boast the number 8 winning percentage among all FBS coaches in that time frame. Yeah. The team's number 13 final ranking in 2024 is BYU's highest ranking since finishing number 11 in 2020 after an 11-1 season, and marks the program's 12th top 15 final ranking in school history. The Cougars achieved 2 wins over final top 25 teams this season for the 4th time in school history, something past BYU programs previously accomplished in 2021, 96, and 83. Kalani's program, culture of love and learn, was on display in full this season, highlighted by a visit from Fox's Big Noon Kickoff and BYU being featured on ESPN's College Game Day. This season, the American Football Coaches Association named Kalani as 2024 Region 4 Coach of the Year and a finalist for AFCA National Coach of the Year. He was also recognized as a semifinalist for the prestigious George Munger Award, which is awarded to college football's top coach. Following the season, Kalani was honored for his career success by being inducted into the Polynesian Football Hall of Fame at the Polynesian Cultural Center in Laie, Hawaii. And it's a community, obviously, that is like Provo and definitely near and dear to Kalani's heart. And this morning, Kalani added 4 more new members of the BYU football program, giving BYU its highest rated composite recruiting class in school history. And I'll say this, did you guys see the Alamo Bowl? Okay. I know that Colorado's going to pick up that refrain, remember the Alamo, after that one. It was so impressive to see our coaches, our players, so completely locked in for that game. Everyone knows going into that game, there was mad hype for their team, and it was well-founded. They were a great team, well-coached, and just to see what our coaches did in preparation and following up on game day by being that locked in was so impressive. So please welcome our head coach, Kalani Sitake.
All right, I was just telling Chad to keep going, you know. But no, thank you for that introduction, Chad, and it's so good to be here. It seems like I just did this a couple months ago, but I actually enjoy these opportunities to speak to you and to take questions from you. So I'll go through a little bit of introduction of the young men that we added to our program, and then I'll take questions from you guys, and they'll be all fun for me, just so you know. So anytime you guys see me, it's always hard because my family, we take 2 cars to the movies because they know if there's BYU fans, they want to hang out and talk as long as they want. And then the problem is that I know people are really gun shy on asking about getting a photo. So I just kind of ask everybody that I interact with if they want to take a picture. And some of them have no idea who I am, so I apologize for that. So that's just my ego, you know what I mean? Like, hey, you want a picture with me? And I lost 5 pounds and all that stuff. But anyways, no, I think I just want to make sure that I cover all our bases and that I do this the right way. I grew up BYU. That's just how it was for me. My father and my grandpa raised me the right way. Where just, you know, I remember watching in Laie at a very young age, following BYU, and like I said, I just don't remember ever starting. I just always did. It always felt right, and I never stopped. And so now that I'm the head coach, and I can't believe it's going year 10. I'm living a dream every day. And so anytime I get to interact with you, that's something that I value so much, and then it's something that I really believe that I'm supposed to be doing. So there's a lot of times, and some of you give me advice that I'm not looking for, but it's okay. But I've done that before too. You know, I've done that at a young age, and criticizing some of the coaches and things like that too when I was 9, 10 years old. So that's the fun, and that's the fun of being a fan, is that you can say these things, and honestly, I don't have a problem with it. If my ego is so big that I get offended when someone's actually trying to help and give me some advice, I don't have a problem with it. So now that I said that, I opened up the door for you guys to do whatever you want to say. But the truth is, this is an honor for me to be here, and I can't keep pinching myself every day I get to do it. And so the moment I don't want to do this is the moment I should retire. And I'm only 49 years old, so I don't think that's going to be anytime soon. Thank you for that. But really excited about these young men, and I mean, all the things that John mentioned, and he was going through what we bring to the Big 12. There's that list goes on and what you as a fan base do, and as donors, and what you do for our program, and what you do for the recruiting, and what you do for our young men on our team. And so you can go down that list, including the Cougar Tales and all that stuff, and then just kind of look at the interaction that is BYU, Cougar Nation. So I want to thank you guys for all that. I think we have an amazing coaching staff that does a great job at recruiting and connecting with young men. They're the best I've been around. And when I say the best I've been around, it's not about closing the deal and getting the young men that are here in recruiting. It's about seeing what's the best fit and discussing with the families and with the young men if they can see themselves being here for the length of their time, getting a degree from BYU, and actually buying into what we're all about. It's not about the rev share dollars or anything like that. Even though that's part of it, we've never focused on that. Our focus is on the mission of the church and the mission of the school and the mission of our athletic department. And that being said, I really appreciate the leadership in our athletic department. Tom Homo is amazing to work with as an athletic director. His staff is amazing. I get to work with Chad Lewis, he's my teammate. We go way back, and I was a young freshman, and Chad and the rest of the team mentored me, and helped me have plans with Lavelle of going on a mission, when that was something that I really didn't consider, especially when I was playing as a freshman. And that's the best thing that ever happened in my life. It's the best. It was hard work, but I remember it, and it's something that I'll never forget. And I go back on it. It helps me who I am today as a husband and father and as a football coach. So thank you for your leadership, Tom, and for the men and women that are around you in the athletic department. They're amazing. It's an honor for me to work with you and to be part of this. And we're all Lavelle's boys too, so that's a really cool thing too. We speak the same language. And it just goes to my next part, that the culture, everyone keeps talking about love and learn. I got that because when I first got the job, I asked everybody I could, including Tom and Chad and others that knew Lavelle or coached with Lavelle or played for Lavelle, what Lavelle was about and what they thought the culture was. And they would give me all these phrases and these are hours and hours of conversations. And then the things that I would write, I wanted to define the culture because we never really defined it. And what I could come to was love and learn and the gospel of Jesus Christ. And so those are the things that we have and that we put into it. So the culture is not something that I came up with. It's what we recognize and what we got to enjoy as student athletes, and what we got to enjoy as fans, with Lavelle being at the head of this program. And so what I'm trying to do is just do what he did for us, and you can see that concept still keeps alive in the people that have come from Lavelle's tree, and specifically who's going to be coaching this weekend, Andy Reid, who's the closest thing to Lavelle that I've seen. All you have to do is look at Andy, and that's what Lavelle would have done had he gone to the NFL as a head coach, because it's more of a level playing field there. You look at Andy and you look at the relationships that he has with his players, and it's the same. They all think that they're his favorite. Even Chad and Reno, they argue about who's his favorite, and these are grown men, but that's what Lavelle did to all of us. And so you can look at what Andy's doing and the amazing things he's doing on the field, but look at the relationships that he has with those different types of athletes, and the diversity in the group, but also the personalities that are there. He's able to work with them and do it in a Christ-like manner. So I'm excited to see him play and seeing their team play and going against Kellen Moore, who's one of our friends here. And he spent some time with us and talking to a lot of our coaches, and I've had a great relationship with him. After he, beat me when I was a defensive coordinator at Utah, and he was at Boise. So those are really cool things to look forward to in the Super Bowl. Back to this stuff. Want to announce these 4 days. We brought 4 guys, but I also want to talk a little bit about the transfers that came in that maybe I didn't get to talk about the first time. The 2 players that we added on defense were DBs, and one's Jordan Chris. He's from Arlington, Texas. He's very similar to Trey Alexander that we signed last year. A lot of speed, length. He's 6'2", 6'3". He's a little thin, but we're good at putting on weight on these young men. So he'll get a little bit bigger, but he's got all the tools, and I think he's barely scratching the surface of really how good he can be. When him and his family came on this trip, him and his parents came on the trip with his uncle and his grandpa, and they fell in love with Provo right from the beginning. And that's when we were having the snowstorm and all that. You know what I mean? And I just reminded that it snowed in Florida too, so it's okay. But it snowed here, and they loved everything about BYU and everything about Provo. Interaction with the faculty, with staff, with everybody in our recruiting department. And I kept hearing from his parents and his grandpa and uncle, like, we want him to come so bad. And the next day we're at dinner, and he just announced that he's going to come to BYU, and the family just flipped out. I mean, I've never seen. This is probably the #1 celebration I've ever seen in a commitment, and it was so cool to see. He's going to be a really good player for us, and he fits exactly what we're trying to get done here at BYU. Landon Goff's the other DB. He's a corner, but he played. Jay wants to move him to safety, and Jay's had his eye on him for a long time, and just kind of wanted to keep working with him and see. We had him in camps and things like that, and Jay kind of challenged him to make certain plays and play a certain way, and he did it this year. And Jay saw enough and basically offered him a scholarship to be here at BYU. Jay specifically is going to move him to safety. So he's got a lot of speed. He's got length too. He's going to go on a mission first. He's going to be great for us too. And then on the offensive side, we added Jacob Nye, who's a tight end out of Texas. And he's got great size, 6'4", 235. He can run, but he also plays a lot of receiver. So A-Rod mentioned this. We signed more receiver types at tight end this year, and we'll teach them how to block. That's a lot easier. I know everybody wants to throw the tight ends more. The tight ends got to get open, and the quarterbacks know how to throw to people that are open. When Puka got the ball a lot, guess what? He was open a lot. So we want receivers to get open, right, Chad? That's how it works. And you and Itul immediately were going on the field at the same time. Whoever got open the most got the ball. That's just how it works. And so we want tight ends to get open. We'll get a system in place so that they can get it open, and so they can join in stats like Isaac Rex, who leads all of Cougars in touchdown reception. So we'll get back to that, but and that's utilizing all the running backs, tight ends, and receivers as receivers in the pass game. So he'll fit that perfectly. And then McKay Madsen is out of Clovis, California, and he's super special. The only problem is we have to wait 2 years for him because he's going on a mission. But he is explosive, and he's a dynamite player. He is a world-class thrower, and so if you look at the throwers, they're usually bigger bodies. I would be considered undersized for a thrower right now. And so you see him as played a lot of safety, linebacker, and running back in high school, and he won the state of California the shot put as a junior. And so right now, he's to put it into context, he throws further than Blake Freeland. And Blake Freeland was a world-class thrower also. So I'm sure track and field wants him to throw a little bit. I'm okay with that if that happens, because it's not too much running, and he's going to be able to keep his weight. But he can throw the discus. That means he's got a lot of explosiveness in him, in his body. So we're playing him at running back first. I know a lot of others want him at linebacker and stuff like that. We see a really good running back, and Harvey was the one that really fought from the play running back. I think McKay was good with whatever because he's a good, obedient young man. But most guys like that want the ball in their hands. And so you can imagine that shot put with that strength in that arm. Can you imagine what the stiff arm is going to look like? So he's going to be really good, and he's chiseled. He's a great-looking body, and they come from a wonderful family, and so we're really excited to have him here and have him in our family at BYU football. So we have those 4, and then we added 8 signee or mid-year guys that came from the portal, and with the D line, we brought 4 D linemen, Tausili Akana and Hunter Clegg. Akana came from Texas. We tried to recruit him a couple years ago. It didn't work, and now he's back, so that's great for us. He's a superb pass rusher. That's his skill. He had a problem gaining weight at Texas, so they moved him inside backer. So he played 2 years. One that tried to make him as outside backer. Next year, as an inside backer. That's not his feel. I think he's going to be an outside backer for us. So he was 220 pounds. He's already 236 pounds now. So he's going to be fine, you know. And I don't know what they're feeding him in Texas, but we got better food here, I guess. I know, because I gained weight and I'm not even trying. So there we go. So no, Tausili's going to be good for us, and he's a great player. Then Hunter Clegg came off his mission and felt the need to change and come to BYU, and I'm glad that he served a great mission and was able to go to prayer and go to the Lord for some help. And so I was praying too, so here we are, you know what I mean? But he has great pass rushing abilities too, and man, he's when he first got from his mission and committed to us, he's been with us all during bowl prep, in meetings. He thought that he was on the team because he was here all the time, and he's taken off. And I just want to remind everyone, though, he served a mission, so we kind of have to try to scale him back, because in his mind he wants to go like he never served one, and so the hamstrings and the groins don't really hang in there. I know with all the bike riding, it doesn't do enough, you know. So we're trying to really slow him down, but he's got an amazing motor, and he's going to be a really good player for us. We added also Anisi Purcell from Southern Utah. He's out of Bountiful, where he went to high school in Bountiful area, and he's got a good size. I think he's good. He's bulking up right now, so he came to us at 275. He's a little bit bigger than that. We needed to add some beef, losing Blake Mangelson and losing John Nelson and Batty and Bagna. We had to go somewhere with a little bit more experience, and so we brought these guys in. I think Purcell's going to do a great job for us. He's super athletic. He's used to being skinny. He's one of those skinny guys that gained weight, and now he's at 280 plus, and I think it's going to look really nice for us at the D line. And then Keanu Tanuvasa came from the University of Utah, and I'm excited about that. I mean, I went to grade school with his dad, so we go way back before Keanu even came along, you know. And so I know the family really well. Keanu served his mission here locally in the Provo area, and he served in my home ward. And so he was in my ward for a number of months, and I fed him. That's how you do it. You do nice things by feeding missionaries. And had this great idea and I'm going to probably go back off script a little. I had this great idea when as a young parent, that my kids would decide when they want to get baptized. So my oldest, Sky, decided at 8 years old she wanted to get baptized, so we baptized her. My second oldest, Sadie, got baptized at 9. She wasn't ready yet, so she waited till 9. So we baptized her at 9. The missionaries were really excited because it was an easy number to count as a convert. So that was a done deal. Then my son, Kalani Jr., we call him KK, or Junior, or Kalani, or whatever. We have all our nicknames. He's my only son, so we call him a lot of different things. But he decided at 8 he didn't want to get baptized yet. At 9 he wasn't really ready, and then at 10 he wasn't really ready, and then getting close to 11, my wife was like, "This is a great idea you had," and I said, "I thought this was both of our ideas, but now it's my idea, you know." So I was getting a little nervous, and then Elder Tanuvasa moves into our ward, and he's working as a missionary, and he was able to connect with my son in such a cool and subtle way, and taught him the lessons without having this formal, like, sitting down and doing the discussions. He taught it in passing, and he taught it by example, and it was an amazing experience. And my son decided to get baptized, and so when that happened, he's connected to us different than anything else. So at the end of the game, when I sought him out, that's what we were crying about. That's the stuff. If people want to know exactly what it was said, I said, "Thank you for everything that you've done for my family, especially for my son, and he's doing amazing now," you know. And so connection goes way deeper than just football. But that's from a father to a missionary, not a coach to another opposing player. So I just wanted to set the record straight on that one. You guys see, okay? And so Keanu's here. He fits us perfectly. We're excited. He could have gone anywhere. He had schools that offered him way more in terms of money than here. He saw the value of this place. Compensation doesn't just come in dollars. There's a lot of different forms of compensation. He's already receiving it in terms of his relationships with you guys and the energy and the praise that he gets from you. But we're excited for him to be on this team, and we're excited for his leadership and helping our program and helping drive the culture of the program, which is in alignment with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Now, on the offensive guys, Andrew Gentry, we tried to recruit him back in the day too. He's back. I think you look at the size that he has. I mean, he played at Michigan, so he's won a national championship there, and then he's looking to increase his role, and I'm sure he's looking to be in part of the BYU family and being in this environment. Being here already, he's enjoying it. He's getting himself ready. We have to be careful. He's coming off of a little bit injury, but I think for us, we know he's going to be really ready for us to play in the fall. It's just keeping him away from the field as much as we can, and keeping him, I guess, more than anything is moderating his reps in the spring, even though he wants to get out there and prove himself. But he's got a big body. You know, he's 6'7", 330 pounds, and he can move. So we're excited about him. He's out of Littleton, Colorado. And then along with him, we have tight end Carson Ryan from Utah and UCLA. He's out of American Fork, and his dad, he's the son of a coach. We've known him for a long time and had him in camps. He can catch the ball and he can block. And so we're really excited about him. And, you know, it's okay. He shaved his beard and his hair is cut to a decent look now. But he's fitting us perfectly too, and we were excited about the experience that he brings to the table and the things that he can teach these young tight ends. So we're excited about him on the program. We have Kyle Safarchuk. He's an O-lineman out of Arizona, but he's from Southern Utah. He can play. He can play a lot of positions inside at guard and center, and both guard and center. But if you look at the way Coach Woods coaches the entire O-line, we can put guys in different spots. We lost our tackles in Kime and with Etienne, so people just assume that we bring other tackles in. We have Jada that's currently on our team, but we also have Austin Leusa, who's played tackle before and started for us this year at tackle. And then we also have had guys like Waylon Lapuajo play tackle too. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but he's our starting left guard, play tackle. You have guys like Bruce Mitchell who can play center and guard, guys like Sonny Macassini that can play center and guard. So TJ Woods does a great job at cross-training a lot of the O-linemen. So we're in a position that we can play our 5 best O-linemen regardless of injury. And so he has a plan for all of it. It's awesome to watch him work. And so I'm excited that he's here on our staff. He's done amazing things for us, and with him and A-Rod running the offense, I feel really good about the O-line. So Kyle will join that, and he'll do a great job for us there. And then I think finally last is Garrison Grimes, who's a long snapper from Baylor. It's Coach Grimes' son, so we've known him for a long time too, you know. But he's an All-American type snapper, and so we're excited about him coming from Baylor and knowing him since he was a kid. It's awesome to have him join our program, and he's excited about increasing his faith in Jesus Christ here at BYU. So those are things that he mentioned to me personally. So I'm excited about this group. I'll take any questions you guys may have on them or anything about the program. But we are really excited about the program and about where we're headed. The only thing I'm not excited about is the cruising for the Cougars, with the Cougars. I mean, if you're looking at it, it's April 11th. I'm trying to lose as much weight as I can so I can walk around with my shirt off, but I'm a little nervous. So this cold weather's not helping me either when I want to get out and walk. But don't judge me on April 11th, guys. You know, I'm going to try to do my best. And you said it's alcohol-free, but we'll have enough just for Jim McMahon so he can be on the trip. But we're really excited about the opportunity to kind of connect with you guys. And even though it's a setting on a cruise ship, I don't think it's my best setting. But if it's in the eating area, that's where I'm really good. If it's in the exercise room, Pops will be there to talk with you guys there. So we're really excited about that. I'm excited. I love what we're doing. We got to stay humble though. We haven't achieved what we wanted to yet. In fact, I've mentioned this in the press conference that the things I keep hearing from the offensive staff and the things I'm hearing from the defensive staff is that we should have been way better. And so that's the things that you want to hear from your coaching staff. If you're a parent or a grandparent or a husband, because we know the wives are always right, but if you're a husband, grandparent, or parent that are saying that you wish you could do better, that means that you're doing great already. So where we're at right now, I like the staff. I like that they can see some of the changes and the fixes that we can make that are right there, visible, and we'll work on getting that done in spring ball. So looking forward to any questions you guys may have. Thank you. Go Cougs. Yes, we'll go here first, then we'll go there. Yeah. Yeah, well, he committed to you. So when he was young, well, his dad played there, is one thing, you know. But you remember when McBride was there, he took a lot of guys that should have came here. I mean, BYU had a monopoly, basically a pipeline running through the North Shore and through a lot of the Polynesians. But there's a lot of Polynesians that can play football, so you can't really have one team own it. But so that happened. I mean, that happens. My older brother went to Utah, so it's Coach Chad, your brother went to Utah, so you know, so we can't have ownership on all of it. You know what I mean? So he did make that decision. I mean, he had a great career over there, so can't say that it was wrong. And he found his wife. Maybe that was part of the reason. So I don't have all the answers. You should ask him. But I do know one thing. When he went to the portal, we jumped on him as soon as we can. Yeah. And if he finished his career there, I would have still given him a hug every game afterwards for what he's done. Which one? Yeah. Which Palmerton? The one in Colorado or? K-State. Yeah, I went through a bunch of emotions. I think you guys were I'm no different than you. It was like, what are you doing? Get the ball. Don't let it go in the end zone. Okay, turn it. Okay, just hold on to it. Oh wait, hey, hope we might have a chance. Nobody blindside block, and then just make sure you give the ref the ball. He didn't do the last part. It was close. So it's just like I went up and down so much. I didn't have any gray hair when I got the head job. Now look, it's just like this is 10 years of BYU football. What was that? Yeah, it's just like, guys, I know there's a lot of energy and excitement with the last second wins and having everything come down to the end. I look forward to boring wins. That's what I want. We didn't have a problem with them in the 80s or the 90s, so like that's where I think the coaches can see that we can be a lot better, and that's the goal is to get there. Now, easier said than done, you know what I mean? But we'll do our best. I'll go here then here. Yeah, junior college ruling was a question. So when the junior college thing happened with Pavia from Vanderbilt, I think everyone assumed that JC ball didn't count anymore in eligibility, because that's kind of what I think that's kind of what everybody thought. When that happened, is that he got an extra year because of that. The NCAA went back and pivoted on it and said that you have to have a similar situation like him, where he had exhausted his years of playing through JC and his years of playing in FBS, and then he had one more year, which was a redshirt year, and so they rewarded him that last year because he basically had not burned a redshirt year in the last four, so they rewarded him that. So you have to fit in that criteria to do it, which kind of messed up some of the JC guys that we thought would have a chance of coming back, like Caleb Etienne and Darius Lasser and those guys. I mean, Maury Bamba, others. So Maury fits a different situation, so we're still waiting to hear back about that one. Darius kind of put him in a bad spot because he was going to be able to play in the East-West Shrine game, and because he was holding off, he's training with our guys now. That still has to go through a little bit of NCAA. They have to kind of see what happens, but I think he's just training to get himself in shape for whatever happens, whether it's he has to go to the NFL or he gets rewarded another year. But it's yeah. There's still we're still fighting for him. We'll see what happens. It just the timing kind of messed them up. If we would have known this in December, then we would have been able to put him in a better spot. I think that's harder for the skill positions. A lot easier for Caleb. being a big boy. I think he was in a good spot with the NFL, regardless of what the decision was going to be made. He just loved you guys so much. He didn't want to leave yet. So when that option wasn't part of it for him, that's when he announced that he's going to go to the NFL. Yeah. Yes. Question here.
Thank you for all your hard work, by the way. What can you do? This may be a better question for Tom, but what can you do to convince the Big 12 to put on rivalry game, their biggest rivalry game in the conference?
Yeah.
Rivalry week.
I don't know. Just talk to Brett Yormark. I mean, I think they're trying to consider, and I'm just going to try to back the Big 12 here. They're considering all the matchups and the viewership with the networks, and so I think doing it with whatever happens from ESPN and Fox and the channels that can get us on our games on. I think that's the biggest issue. I don't know. I mean, I know personally what we would all like. We would all like that, but I think everybody looks at those rivalry games. You're going to have competition. Those games every year is going to be at the end. I didn't mind it being at the end either. I kind of thought that was going to happen this year, but listen, it's on there. That's all I care about. You know what I mean? So, we know where it's at, and we're excited for it, and we're planning on that. But we got other games before that one. And so the schedule is where it's at. We have a bye week in week 3. It's not ideal, but with our sports scientists, I told them to just make it work, and they're going to make it work. So we have a plan in place, and it's going to be involved with our summer conditioning going to fall camp, and we'll be ready. And so by the time we hit that stretch in the middle that a lot of teams would complain about, I don't complain about stuff. You just tell me what we can do, and here we go. Let's go to work. We get a chance to play football, and we get a chance to do something and build off of what we did in the bowl game. And that was an awesome game and an awesome experience. But I came away from that game just like a lot of you did, and probably most of our players, like we still didn't play our best ball. You know what I mean? So as a head coach, I need to get us to play better and more consistently at our best, and I need to do that soon. And so that's my goal, because I didn't feel like we did that consistently enough last year. And I know we went in 11-2, and that's exciting. But I gotta take the records out, and I got to look at what we can accomplish, and what's actually fixable right now, and then what can we get done by the time we hit the season going into fall camp in August. So yeah, yes, go here, there, and there. Yeah.
Really excited that you've got all your staff, all your assistant coaches coming down. Were any of them close to leaving? Were they getting offers?
Yeah, all of them. I mean, I have to give a lot of credit to Tom and to our administration, because it was difficult, because I mean, a lot of offers came from Jay Hill received offers, A-Rod received offers, all our coaches received offers to leave and to go join other staffs, and it wasn't this leverage game. It was just that if you're doing things right, it's going to happen, and we just need to do what we can to keep them here. But my job as a head coach is to provide, like I said, if it's only just about money, we would all be somewhere else. You know what I mean? But the compensation, there's different forms of it. And one is in your standard of living, the people you get to work with, the people you get to coach. That's stuff that matters. I've heard our coaches say, man, we get to coach the best young men. Well, then we need to keep recruiting the best young men, no matter how many stars people give them. I'm looking for 5-star character and integrity more than anything, because you can build on that. Talent without courage means nothing. So let's get some talented guys. But if it's a change, if I'm looking at talent, and if that's the only measurement, then we're doing it wrong, right? So talent on the field, there's got to be, what kind of young man, what can he be as a teammate, and I have to look at what he does as a family member and how he treats his teammates. It's not about the guys that get the most stats. Is he a good leader? Is he a good follower? Is he a good son? Is he an obedient son? I mean, we hear lessons in the Book of Mormon about what obedient sons can do for you in the battlefield. What do you think they can do for you on a football field? So if you want to know how I work, that's how we do it first. I'm going to go there first, and obedient sons make really good football players, and they can get some miracles done on the field. So that's kind of the measurement that I use. What did I say? Say back. Oh, here, then back there. Sorry.
I just wanted to publicly thank you for being such an amazing example to the school, to our faith, and producing men that are going out
Thank you. Thank you. I think you're giving me too much credit, but I mean, she said thank you for being super good looking was one, right? No, just for being a good example I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. This is no different than you guys being up here. I just get to be the head coach. It's like a huge blessing. And so, but with the expectations and come better results. So like I was a good person, but until I came here in BYU, I became better. And maybe that's just maturity growing and getting older. I became a much better person when I got married to my wife. And then I became an even better person when I became a father. And then times 2, times 3, wait 12 years, times 4. Right? So all these things that goes through in life, they've made me better. And so I started to realize that I like the person that I am when I'm around my father. That's why my dad's around as much as I can have him. I love who I am when I'm around my children. That's why I'm trying to have one of my kids or my wife with me. It's just harder with a 2-year-old when my wife doesn't really want to get up and carry diaper bag and all that stuff with her and the stroller and all that. And I don't really care for that either. So if it's a simple thing like going to a game, then my son or my daughters will want to come with me. And so we're no different. You know what I mean? So for you to give me compliments like that, I would say the same back to you guys. We're all going through this life together, and it'd be foolish of us not to interact more and connect more. So that's whether it's good or bad. I know not everything I do you guys are pleased with. I mean, you know, my daughters tell me stop dancing, but I'm not going to stop. I mean, I never said it was good. I just said I'm going to do it. So that you know, it doesn't look like Elaine in Seinfeld at least. So I'm good with it. All right, we had a question back here. Yes. In the bowl game, you can tell he got hit, and he didn't come back in the second half. Yeah, he sustained an injury there. So he had a sling and had a shoulder issue, but he's actually taking the sling off this week, and he's going to be fine. Yeah, so the recovery, everything's gone really well, and he's going to be fine. The thing that he can do for us is what he did at the end of the game: keep leading, and keep demanding more from his teammates. He's one of our best leaders in our program. I'm so glad that he decided to come back. You know, the decision was already made before the bowl game that he was going to come back, and so he's a huge part of what we can accomplish. He's been here for so many years, and he had a connection with Carson Ryan back when they were at AF together. So that helps out too. So there's one back there and then one here. Yes, then I'll come back to you. Backup situation behind who? Oh, Jake. Yeah. McKay Hillstead and Trayson Bourget are the ones behind him right now. And so you look at McKay Hillstead and Trayson have both done some really good things during the season. They actually, we had them they took turns playing against our defense. That's a great defense to learn from, is that you have to play against that defense every day. And so those guys did some really cool things. They actually come to us with experience. You guys know that McKay Hillstead started games at Utah State. I think he started 6 games there as a true freshman. And so he has 3 years left to play. And then Trayson Bourget started for the same amount of games at Western Michigan and was MAC Player of the Week a couple of those games. So they come with not just great talent, but they come with a little bit of experience underneath their belt. They have a little bit more time in the system. Now they've had a whole year in our offensive system. I feel really good about where they're at. During the bowl prep, I was really impressed with the way they're throwing the ball. It was really, really cool, man. I think they're feeling a lot more comfortable. And then Jake's taking ownership of mentoring them along the way, too. So we feel really good about those 3. We'll have to develop a 4th and develop a 5th as we go along. But with the roster situation, that's what we're going to stick with right now in camp. And then we'll give a couple guys a chance to play quarterback in spring, even though they're all fighting for it. They all think they can play quarterback, and even defensive guys, which is not going to happen. So, yeah, we had one here and then one down here. Yes. The the games to attend. I mean, you guys, are you kidding me? You guys are great everywhere we go. It's awesome. I'd say for for wherever the games are, I think we get a lot of fans that come regionally in that area. When we played at UCF last year, I talked to a lot of fans that came that drove like 10 hours to get to that game, and just we're really happy that they were able to make the trip, and it was cool. We were able to talk after the game, and it's hard because after the game, our players are out there talking to all the fans. Whether we win or lose, our players are going to be out there, and they're going to represent well, and they're going to show gratitude to our fans that made the trip. And then I always come at the tail end of it because I'm doing all these interviews and stuff for KSL. I love Greg Wrubell, so I'm going to be on that with him and do press conference, things like that. And so when I get out, it's usually the diehards that want to be there, want to see me, and I love talking to them. So, yeah, any of the fans, if you could just come, just interact with our players, maybe try to stay after and talk to them. We have great young men. You guys get to meet them. That's the stuff that they cherish, and those are the memories that you're going to have. I think when Chad and I played, we had some really cool moments and a lot of great wins. I don't remember the scores really. Do you, Chad? The scoreboard, I don't remember the scoreboard much, but I do remember the people. And I remember the fans and the excitement, the energy from people. And I remember seeing fans that are young and then all saying, hey, I was a kid when you were playing, and now they're old and they have kids, and I feel really, really old. So, yeah. Yeah, so I just love the fans. Just show up if you can. We appreciate it. Your question here.
Congratulations on a great year, Coach.
Thank you.
It's super fun to watch, but you graduated from all of the starters with D-line.
Mm-hmm.
Can you mention by name any players that will be switching positions to fill those gaps?
Oh, we have a good group of guys that are currently on the team there. I mean, they're just young guys that I think that will have opportunities. Like, I mean, if you look at JT Tamoipeao, so if you look at John Tamoipeao, he played a lot this last year. Josh Singh. Sonny Tuala is going to be someone really, really, I mean, he's from Australia. He's learned the game, and he's gotten really big. I think he's probably going to be a lot of people don't really know about him, but he'll be super special. You look at Vil Boha. That's Coach Boha's son. He played in that position with Tyler Batty. He can play inside or outside. He's super talented, great with his hands, and he makes big plays. Bodie Schoonover is another one that can make big plays. We get Logan Latui back. I know I'm forgetting a bunch of guys. So we have a good group of young men that are back at the D line, and then we're bringing these four in. So these four from the transfer portal will be able to play right away. And you're looking at Tausilia Kana, Hunter Clegg, Anisi Purcell, and Keanu Tanavasa. So, and then there's some up and coming young guys that I'm pretty sure I didn't mention that will be fine. I mean, we have a good group. The thing we're going to take care of the most is O-line, D-line. We just happen to graduate a bunch of D-linemen this year, but I think we have a chance to still continue, if not be better, at the front. Yes. Hillstead, moving him around, he can throw the ball too good. So if he didn't throw the ball as well as he does, then we would move him. But he's got an elite level arm. I mean, he's got a strong arm, guys, and he can throw. He's a really good player. So we'll keep him at what he's really good at, And I mean, we have a good kicker too. That's really good at kicking, and he thinks he can run the ball now because he got one first down. So we're gonna keep him at kicking. So just keep him humble, guys. You guys are loving him up too much, and he's got the mustache working for him, and now he's coming in with all these fakes. So let's keep him humble, guys. So yeah, but with the guys currently on the team, if they can help us other places, we'll definitely do that. But I think we have a good beat on it. I mean, Tanner Wall's a really great safety for us, but you guys don't remember that he played receiver first. So we can move guys in different positions and have the right spot to help us and to help them too. Yes. Yeah, thank you for saying that. We have a really good defensive staff, and I think we have a really good offensive staff too. But defensively, they get a lot of credit because of the disruption that they've made and things like that. But if you're looking at it, I mean, everyone's there for a reason. And my only regret, and same thing with Jay, is that it took a while to get it going. You know, we felt like we had some flashes in 2 years ago, but it's worth the wait. So right now we look on building on this, and I don't want to make any statements other than we're in a really good place. We just got to keep working hard and not thinking that it's just going to show up. You know what I mean? That you have to just do your part. You can take things for granted really quickly, and people can become entitled and think they're too good. That's why we got to stay humble, and that's why we have coaches to bring everyone back down to earth. I joke about Will Ferrin, but it's like, you know, when people want to think too highly of themselves, then that's usually when I have people that I love around me tell me stop. You know what I mean? So these young men, they're having fun with what they're doing. But there's the cool thing I like about them is the service that I'm seeing from them doing off the field, how they're helping people, the connection that they're having, mentoring young people, mentoring people across abroad in the African continent, in South America, and then the Pacific Islands. Those are really cool things that we're doing that kind of fits how we're doing it. We were coming off, we had our academic banquet last night. We have another 4 semesters in a row of record-setting GPAs as a team. It's the stuff that matters, you know what I mean? So the service, all the things that we're doing off the field correlates to what we're doing on the field. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And so we want them to increase their spirituality as well as increase their physical strength. There's all these things that we all need to work on, and when we all need to do that as well as coaches and examples to these young men. But they're working hard, but you know, we're not perfect, but we're trying to get there. So hopefully we can get there as soon as possible by the time we get to the season. Yep. There's some, yeah, here and here. I'll go. You too.
Have we thought about having a quarterback-specific coach and bringing maybe a certain vets on?
You want a quarterback-specific coach? Yeah, they can all come if they want. I mean, that's like this is the. I know everybody wants quarterback-specific coaching. The best quarterback coach in football is Andy Reid. He chose, and he played O-line here. So didn't play in the NFL, didn't play quarterback in the NFL. So the guru talk, I do think John Beck's an excellent guru. I think that he and what Max Hall, Ty Detmer, what those guys know in football, and they're teaching and they're mentoring a lot of people out there, young people, and even college and professional players. That's great. It works for them. You can't deny that we have a good thing going too. And I know a lot of, listen, at BYU, people get a lot of criticism. I'll tell you this: you're going to criticize the quarterback because that always happens. You're going to criticize the head coach, and then you're going to criticize the offensive coordinator. That has never changed. That's always been that way since I've been alive and been cheering. Whether it's Roger French, Norm Chow, Lance Reynolds, Gary Croton, Boric, Robert and Brandon Doman, Grimes, Ty Detmer, and now Aaron Roderick. That's part of your job, is to get criticized and try to make the fans happy, and they know that. And so the other part of your job is to protect your quarterbacks, and that means on the field and even in public. And so our offense coordinators do a great job at that. And so we know how to train them. If you look at it, it's like I'll take all the help we can get. We actually have a great relationship with John Beck. We're the ones that push our quarterbacks to go train for him. Zach decided to drive. I mean, he could afford to take a quick, easy breeze flight there. You know, it's an easy thing to go down Southern California and throw with them. So our guys did it during the off season. They do it consistently. We have it planned out throughout the year. But again, you go back to it. A-Rod's put quarterbacks in the NFL. There's a reason why Keaton Slovis is there. There's a reason why Jaron Hall's there. There's a reason why Zach Wilson's in the NFL. And so he knows what he's doing. I'm proud that he's able to do this. And if you look at the efficiency of the offense, it actually exceeded the efficiency of the defense. But, you know, we're going to all talk about the new toy and how excited we are about it. I'm excited too, but I got to defend what's right. You know what I mean? And he's doing some great things. And you guys can disagree with me. You're supposed to. You're BYU fans. That's what's supposed to happen. You know, everybody wants to get mad at why we went to a dry spell and shooting last night. That's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to be happy with us not doing our best. You know what I mean? But that's part of monitoring the fans. But my job is I want to make you all happy, regardless of who the coach is and things like that. But I'll go back to Andy Reid's the best quarterbacks coach I know. I talk to him consistently, probably not as much as I want to, you know, but I would love to talk to him every day if I could, but he's brilliant. He's the one that chose to go with Patrick Mahomes over Alex Smith when everybody thought that was a big mistake. Nobody's apologizing for that now. No one's apologizing to Andy Reid for his mistake of going with Patrick Mahomes. And now everybody wants to yell at Patrick Mahomes gets all the calls from the refs. You're a good dynasty when people hate you, when you're and they're sick of you winning, basically. So I'm proud Andy Reid's doing that, and he set an example for us. We do a lot of the stuff that he does. I think his creativity is amazing, and I encourage, A-Rod and the offensive staff to fit into that creativity and find the best ways for our players to be successful. So, yep, right here. Just one more. I'll be quick with my answers if you want to. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I think head coaches understand each other more than anything, and we kind of, to me, I think a lot of people would look at differences that you can, well, we're not the same, we're different type people, but I choose to look at the things that we have in common. It's why we have so many different faiths on our team. I mean, the predominant faith is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but why our quarterback, who's Jewish, feels really comfortable in our team settings, because we're looking at similarities and common ground rather than the things that separate us, and start to realize that when you look into things like that, you start to grow and gain a connection with people. Kenny Dillingham, I first met him when he was I think he was the youngest head coach hired, and we were at a convention, and we were getting ready for the head coaches convention. I was talking to him, and I was really impressed with his knowledge and how intelligent he was, and started to talk to him about a lot of things. But what we have in common, we both love our home teams. Like he loves ASU, and I love BYU, and so we start talking about that more and more. And I can look past all the stuff because I'm not looking at things that we have connected to each other. Same thing with Dion. We have a faith in Christ that's very similar, and we talk about it. He's not afraid to talk about it. He's in Boulder, Colorado, talking about Jesus Christ, and about God. That's really cool. So Lavelle did all those things. I watched Lavelle do it as a player. I watched him. I got to see him connect with people, and I thought it was amazing. And when I was a freshman, I was super shy. I didn't want to talk. Then I go on this thing called a mission, and you can't be shy in your mission. You get told you're going to have to give a talk for 12 minutes right when church starts. You know what I mean? And so you're sitting there trying to be like smooth and trying to look up what you're going to talk about. But that does something to you when you're out doing that, and then you have this confidence of proclaiming the gospel and talking about eternal families, gives you this a lot of courage to do things. And so I saw Lavelle do all those things. I saw him connect with media members and connect with everyone, especially opposing coaches, and I really liked that. And then I had a great relationship with Ron McBride, who is his rival on the other side, how much he loves Lavelle. And I went to a funeral a few months ago, and it was Ken Schmidt's funeral. You remember Coach Schmidt was our defense coordinator. And right when I walk in, there's Ron and his wife Vicky, and then there's Patty Edwards right next to him, and it made me cry. And so this is, I know we're in a competitive game, but I love the way Lavelle did it, and I'm going to try to do everything I can to copy him. And then now I get the joy of knowing what it feels like. So I know we can make fun of a lot of the coaches and stuff like that, but they're good people, and they care about the same things that we care about. And maybe they get a little nervous when the camera comes on and they don't put their best foot forward. So I think we've got to give them a little bit of leniency and forgive them for some of the things that they do and say. It gets hard. Not everybody got to serve a mission. In fact, Lavelle, when Lavelle talked to me about going on a mission, when I got the job, first thing he said to me, he said, "Do you know what you are?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm head coach of BYU football." And luckily, Lavelle's last year was my first year here as the head coach, so his last year on earth. Spent so much time with him, but the first thing he said is that, "So proud of you, and you're the first head coach that have served a mission to be the head coach of BYU football." So probably a seed that he planted a long time ago in 1994. And the guy was a visionary. And so it'd be foolish for me not to follow his example. And I'm going to try to keep doing it. Hope I can keep doing a good job at it. But it's worked so far. And I'm aligned with it. I think we all are. You guys know how much we all love Lavelle, right? And I keep going back to when they announced Lavelle Edwards Stadium was going to be named, the stadium was going to be named after him. I'm there. I'm a captain for him. And again, everybody knew that was going to happen. We all cheered. Lavelle and Patty, super humble, were shocked. And so hopefully we can all be like that and have that type of humility, which is an amazing thing to be around. So hopefully we can all do that. Love you guys so much. Appreciate your time. Go Cougs.